Vishnu is eternal and uncontaminated. There is Ganga. That place cannot be impure. Mother Sachi could not understand anything that Nimai spoke because she was under the spell of the Lord's Yoga Maya. However, she got Nimai to get down from the pile of pots. After this incident, all the neighborhood ladies asked Sachi Devi, "What enemy has stopped you from giving your child a chance to study? Our children hate to study. We have to force them to study. Your child loves to study, and still you are stopping him from studies." Thus Jagannath Mishra had no other way to educate Nimai. So that is the pastime, which is represented by the altar. And I think maybe the pots in front of the altar there, they represent the broken pots which Nimai was sitting on. Nimai Nitai ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balaba Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Balaba Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Bonachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paragrajikacharya Ashtadana Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brinda ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Go Premanandi. All glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva narottamam devyam saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, chapter entitled Narada's Teachings to Vasudeva, text number 32. Krishna Vanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayaya Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha Krishnavanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayaya Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha Krishnavanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayaya Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha Mataji's. Krishna Varnam. Repeating the syllables, Krishna. Tvisha, with a luster. Akrishnam, not black. Golden. Saanga, along with associates. Upaanga, servitors. Astra, weapons. Parshadam, confidential companions. Yagyai, by sacrifice. Sankirtana prayai, consisting chiefly of congregational chanting. Yajanti, they worship. He, certainly. Sumedasaha, intelligent persons. Translation and purport by His Divine. Actually, it's the followers of Srila Prabhupada. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Translation responsively. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by all his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Purport. This same verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse 52. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given the following commentary on this verse. So this is Prabhupada's purport. This text is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam known as the Krama Sandarbha, wherein he says that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That golden Lord Krishna is Lord Chaitanya, who is worshipped by intelligent men in this age. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although the child Krishna was blackish, he also appears in 3 other colors, red, white, and yellow. He exhibited his white and red complexions in the Satya and Treta ages respectively. He did not exhibit the remaining color, yellow gold, until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaura Hari. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that Krishnavanam means Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishnavanam and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. The name Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, Krishna. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he always engages in describing Krishna and thus enjoying transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. Lord Krishna himself appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. Varanayati means utters or describes. Lord Chaitanya always chants the holy name of Krishna and describes it also. And because he is Krishna himself, whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others. He injects one with transcendental Krishna consciousness, which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respects, therefore, he appears before everyone as Krishna, either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. Sango Pangastra Parshadam further indicates that Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna. His body is always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood and with sandalwood paste. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descents, the Lord sometimes uses weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra or weapon to subdue the demons. Because he is all attractive, it is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. His acts were uncommon and his associates wonderful. When he propagated the Sankirtan movement, he attracted many great scholars and acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates, like Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from the Vedic literature that says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. He comments that instead of engaging in such external, pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, or creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishnavanam Trisha Krishnam indicates that prominence should be given to the name Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant Hare Krishna. Thus, worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya, said, "The principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Sri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet, as humming bees are attracted to a lotus flower." The incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also described in the Sri Vishnu Sahasranam, which appears in chapter 189 of the Dharma Parva of Mahabharata. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted this reference as follows: Suvanavano Hemango Varangash Chandanan Gadi. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful, and his body, smeared with the pulp of sandalwood, seems like molten gold. He also has quoted Sannyas, Krich, Chana, Shanto, Nishta, Shanti, Parayanaha. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order, and he is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. Om Gyan Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Eva Cha Petitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare. So this particular verse of the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, verse 32. It describes the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. Bhagavatam is considered to be Amala Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam, Puranam, Amalam, Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. It is the supreme scripture. It is Amala Purana, which means it is completely pure. There is nothing defective within the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the topmost scripture. How do we know it is the topmost scripture? Because if you look at the Acharya's commentaries, The Srimad Bhagavatam, out of all of the Puranas, out of all the Vedic literatures, the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, all of the significant scriptures, it has by far the most commentaries. Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, some of the other prominent Shastras, they also have several commentaries. The Bhagavatam has at least a dozen commentaries. And before Srila Prabhupada, now you guys, you have to be a little bit quiet. You have to be a little bit quiet. Before Srila Prabhupada would write his purports, he would look at the commentaries. He had a big, thick black book, which he traveled with all over the world. And before he would write his purports, he would look at the commentaries of all of the previous acharyas. Right? And there are many, many commentaries which are there. So this shows that the Bhagavatam is the supreme scripture. And it was favored by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Today is his appearance day, Gaur Panim. He would relish hearing Bhagavatam more than any other scripture. It describes in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that he would go, when he was staying in Jagannath Puri in his final pastimes, then every day he was living in the Gambhira. Hands up if you've been to Jagannath Puri, the Gambhira. Yeah, so many devotees who've been there. So if you go from the Gambhira to Tota Gopinath temple, that's where Gadadhar Pandit was living. And Gadadhar Pandit is the incarnation of Srimati Radharani herself. So who is a better teacher of the Bhagavatam than Radharani herself? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, every day would walk down to the Tota Gopinath temple to hear the Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. And Gadadhar Pandit would cry tears of ecstasy while reciting the Bhagavatam. It actually says in the Bhagavatam itself, if you chant the name of Krishna and tears do not come to your eyes, your heart is still framed. So that means we have a long way to go. Tears should be coming from our eyes, right, when we're chanting. I mean, otherwise, we're not getting the result of the chanting. That's not the purpose. So it is described that Gadadhar, when he was reciting the Bhagavatam, tears would come from his eyes. And that the ink on the pages, they would become smeared by the tears which are coming from his eyes. It describes in Chaitanya Bhagavat that Lord Chaitanya, when Gadadhar Pandit would read a pastime, he would say, read it again. And it says sometimes they would read the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruva Maharaj 100 times. Right? Vasudev Kata Ruchi. Bhagavatam says we have to have a taste for hearing and chanting. If you fall asleep in the Bhagavatam class, then there's something wrong with your devotional service. You imagine Lord Chaitanya falling asleep? Gadadhar Pandit's reading and Lord Chaitanya's like drifting off. It's not possible. How can we do it? We can only do it because we lack taste. Bhagavatam says, Vasudeva Kata, you must have taste for hearing and chanting. So the Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. This is the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam. The 11th canto is like a summary study of the previous, everything which has been in the first 10 cantos. Right? Burujan Prabhu has written a wonderful book called The Backward Glance, which is a commentary on 11th and 12th canto. Because now everything has been spoken by Shukadev to Parikshit Maharaj. He has 7 days. So now we're in the 11th canto, so this would be probably day 5 or day 6 or something like that. And after speaking everything, now nothing new is there, but he's going to summarize everything which was there previously. Now this particular verse, it's describing the incarnation, this comes in the section, about the incarnation of the Yuga avatars. And it says that in Kali Yuga, this particular avatar will come. Actually, this is one of the most important verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because it actually predicts the golden form of Krishna coming. Now, if you study this section of the Yuga avatars, in a, what do they call the 4 yugas together? Divya Yuga, yeah, the Divya Yuga. In a day of Lord Brahma, there are 1,000 Divya Yugas, which means 1,000 cycles. Right, 4,332,000 years, right? 1,000 cycles which go past. Now, out of those 1,000 cycles, in 999, Kali Yugas, the incarnation of Krishna is blackish. Right? It mentions, right? He is a blackish color. It's only in this one particular Kali Yuga that Krishna appears in a golden form. Right? We don't understand how fortunate we are. Right? Krishna himself, Swayam Bhagavan, in the other 999 Dwapara Yugas, it is an incarnation of Vishnu or Narayan who descends in the Dwapara Yuga. It's not the Swayam Bhagavan or the original form of Krishna from Goloka Vrindavan. This only happens once out of 1,000. And when did this happen? 5,000 years ago. So can you imagine how fortunate we are? This is a 1 in 1,000 opportunity. On top of that, then Krishna came again 4,500 years later in a golden form, same Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, the original form of Krishna from Goloka Vrindavan, only 500 years ago. He is historically recorded. If you look in history books, there is a saint called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is there in history. He's recorded. This is so not long ago. And we are living here in Melbourne, the most livable city in the world. In Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir, arguably one of the best temples in the world in ISKCON, and still we fall asleep in Bhagavatam class. Like what? Look at our opportunity. Look at the significance, right? How wonderful an opportunity is, how powerful it is, how rare this opportunity is. It is a 1 in 1,000 opportunity. And then you have to be a human being at the right time. And you don't have to just be a human being at the right time, you have to be sumedha saha, which means you have to have enough intelligence to actually take up this process. So it is an extremely rare situation. So it says here that this particular incarnation is a Chana avatar. Chana avatar means a hidden incarnation. He's not mentioned very much within the scriptures. Right? There's not a lot of mention about a golden form. Right? It's like it's a hidden form. Why is he hidden? Right? Because he is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. If you read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, in the very beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it substantiates Lord Chaitanya's descent. The 3rd chapter of the Adi Lila, what does it discuss?
It's the internal confidential reasons of his advent and external reasons.
Yeah, the external reason is chapter 3, and the confidential reason is chapter 4. Right? So in the 3rd chapter, it describes the external reason for him coming. Why does he come? Right? To spread the Yuga Dharma. Harinam Sankirtan. That is his purpose. That's why he comes. In the 4th chapter, it describes his internal reason for coming. Why does he personally come? There are many verses which are described there in the 4th chapter of the Adi Lila, which describe the internal reason for him coming. Now, what is the internal reason? Why does Krishna come again? He just came 5,000 years ago. It is called Parishishta Lila, like an incomplete feeling. Like sometimes you will do something and you feel incomplete. I didn't do my service properly. I should have done it better. Or I could have experienced more. Or I could have taken more from this. So Krishna himself is feeling like that. He is sitting with Srimati Radharani and he looks at Radharani and he says, you understand or you relish me more than I relish myself. Even I am the Supreme Lord. I am the Lord of everything. But still you are getting a deeper experience. Because no one but you can fully extract and experience the glory, the sweetness, and the bliss that you can experience. The glorious Srimati Radharani's love is beyond any other devotee. She is the topmost devotee. Actually, Jiva Goswami says Srimati Radharani is so qualified, Krishna doesn't even need anyone else. So then we can ask, why are we here? Right? Because Srimati Radharani is merciful. And how does she feel? I want to share Krishna with others. So because she wants to share Krishna with others, Krishna expands, right? So many other personalities. In other words, we exist because of her desire. Because she is relishing Krishna, she wants all of us to relish Krishna also. That's why we have to approach Krishna through Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Right? Her name is first. We have to enter through her. So, Krishna understands when he studies Srimati Radharani, the glory of her love. She will do anything for me. She is unadulterated, pure love. Right? As Bhagavatam says, Savai Pumsam, Paro Damo, Yato Bhaktir Hoksaje, Ahoituki, Yapratihata, Yayatma Suprasidati. Pure devotional service is unmotivated, uninterrupted. Right? Srimati Radharani is completely unmotivated and uninterrupted. Right? As the last verse of Shikshastika says, whether you handle me roughly by your embrace or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me, still you are my Lord. Srimati Radharani, she feels, if Krishna takes more pleasure with being with another gopi, let him be with another gopi. But when he's with another gopi, she becomes angry. Why? Why does she become angry? Because she understands, I can please Krishna more than the other gopi can. And Krishna deserves the best service. So he should come and be with me. That's why she gets angry. It's not a selfish, egotistical mentality, but it's the consciousness of pure love. Her love is so selfless, she says, Krishna should come and be with me. And actually that is how Mayapur appeared. Mayapur Dham. Mayapur and Vrindavan are non-different. How did Mayapur appear? Because Srimati Radharani heard that Krishna was with another gopi. The name of the gopi was? Viraja. She was another gopi, Viraja. So Radharani heard Krishna was with this other gopi. So then Radharani came to see, who is Krishna with? Why is Krishna not with me? And then Krishna heard, Srimati Radharani is coming. So he said to Viraja, turn into a river quickly. So Viraja turned into a river, the Viraja river. And then Radharani came and saw only Krishna was there. But she could smell, another gopi has been here. Right? I know, she knew. So she left in man, which means jealous anger. She was angry. So it says that she went to another place, Navadweep. Nava means a new dweep, a new island, in between the Ganga and the Jamuna, which is Navadweep, Mayapur. So she went there to that place, and then with all of her gopi assistants, she designed and created Mayapur Dham.
So I wake up when you say hi, Betsy.
So she created Mayapur Dham. After creating Mayapur Dham, she sat down and she played a flute, very beautifully. Imagine how beautiful Radharani playing the flute would sound. And when Krishna heard that, he thought, she wants me now. She played the flute in such a way, he said, Krishna, come here now. So then Krishna, he came straight to Mayapur. And when he got there, he sat down with Srimati Radharani. And Krishna had tears in his eyes. And what was Krishna thinking? She's done all of this for me. She's created all of this just for me. It was so beautiful as Vrindavan itself. So then he said to Srimati Radharani, I will stay here forever. And I will relish what you relish. Right? The glory of your love. The sweetness that you feel, that you experience in me. And the bliss that you feel when you taste all the sweetness within me. I will experience that in this place. So then he stayed there in Mayapur Dham. Radharani said, if you begin to experience everything that I am experiencing, you will go mad. What is the topmost level of bhakti called? Mahabhav. Right? And if you go into Mahabhav, if you study it, there are different elements of Mahabhav. One is called Unmada. Unmad means divine madness. Like if you read chapter 46, 47 of the 10th canto, and you see Radharani is talking to a bumblebee, Brahmara Gita. Right? She is mad at that point. Who talks to a bee? She's not just talking to a bee, she's having a deep conversation with this bee. Who are you? And you're blackish. And you remind me of someone else who is blackish. And I don't like black people. She's mad. And you know who the bee was? It was actually Krishna. Krishna took the form of the bee. And when she's talking like that, it was disturbing him seeing her so emotional. The bee, he was beginning to it was hard for him to hover in the air. He was like, like when bees get intoxicated and they almost start crashing into things and like that. So he was listening to that conversation. That's the Brahmara Gita, right? So Radharani said to Krishna that if you experience what I am experiencing, you will go mad and your body will fall on the ground. It says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, during the Ratha Yatra, sometimes Lord Chaitanya would jump into the air and crash to the ground, and everyone thought every bone in his body must have smashed. He would go up and crash to the ground, and he would lay there, and then he would open his eyes and get up again and do it again, dancing and like mad. He was so intoxicated. So what she did, she said, if you're going to take my bhav, it describes this in the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you take my bhav, my sentiment, and you become mad, you will also have to take my duty. And duty means my effulgence, my complexion. So Radharani, she covered Krishna with her own form. That's why it says Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya, is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. So Srimati Radharani covered Krishna so that when Krishna would hit the ground, she would protect him. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't feel. When he hits the ground, Radharani is there cushioning. That is loving devotional service. Can you imagine loving so much you would do that? Imagine, you envelope your kid, just put your form over your child. So whenever your child hurts, it's actually you who hurt yourself. Or you see in the Mahaprakash Leela, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is 21 hours sitting on the throne, right? He sat on the throne and he said, I am he, everyone worship me, worship me. So Lord Chaitanya sat there at Srivasangam for 21 hours and everyone worshipped him. And he would call all the devotees forward. And he called Haridas Thakur forward. And he said, Haridas, don't you remember when you were being beaten in the 22 marketplaces and you didn't feel anything from that beating? Do you remember? And Haridas said, yes, I remember. I was going through the marketplace and the Muslims were beating him with bamboo. Anyone ever hit you with bamboo? No? Imagine it would hurt. So big bamboo on the back, smashing him. 22 marketplace, he didn't feel anything. And Mahaprabhu said, remember you did not feel anything? Mahaprabhu showed him. He said, look. And who took everything was there. That's how much Krishna loves the devotee. That's how much the devotee loves Krishna. That's why Lord Chaitanya is the golden form. Right? He is a hidden form. He's a Chana avatar. Right? Hidden incarnation of Krishna. He only appears once in 1,000 Kali Yugas. And we are so fortunate that we are here in Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir in front of the deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who is the second heaviest metal deity of Lord Chaitanya on the planet. The only bigger one is in Mayapur itself. Right? He weighs half a ton. He is right there, right in front of us. And he's installed by Srila Prabhupada himself. And then Prabhupada said, Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir. After he installed, Lord, you see we're fortunate you can actually see the video where Prabhupada is bathing, Gaur Nitai. So how fortunate are we? 1 in 1,000. In the most livable city in the world. The only thing we don't have is toilet paper. Everything else we have. The one thing lacking in this city is I kept hearing it, no toilet paper. And then I went into Coles the other day because we had to go shopping. There's no toilet paper. I was walking down the aisle. One lady was walking one way and I said, oh, no toilet paper. No toilet paper. People are crazy. Everyone quick, buy toilet paper. Because there's big problems in the world, that will save you. This is how mad the world has become. The world has become mad. Everyone is running, hoarding toilet paper. What should we be hoarding? The holy name, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Everyone should be running, grabbing, give me the Maha Mantra, give it to me. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I simply run behind you chanting, Krishna, Krishna. Give me the holy name, give me the holy name. That is the actual mentality. It describes, Jiva Goswami describes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation. He is in the mood of a mad king. When the king goes mad. Just imagine like, well, we don't have a king, now we have ScoMo. But imagine if he went mad. He is mad, but imagine if he went, actual mad, love of Godhead. So he said it's like the king goes mad. And the king goes into his treasury because he's intoxicated. He took too much Varuni juice. Right now he's mad. Right? So he goes into the treasury and he grabs all of his most precious jewels and he walks out on the street and he says, hey, you, come here. And you walk over and he says, take this. And he says, why are you giving me this? Just take it. Go. Like that. Have it. You have this. He's just giving out all these most valuable jewels. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it says that Krishna is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. He's become mad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has become mad. And he's just running around the world saying, take this, take that. Everybody have love of Godhead. Just take it. And you say, oh, I'm not qualified. Who cares? Just have it. But I'm not qualified. Have more. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaura do not see or accept offenses. That doesn't mean you can commit offenses. Because Lord Nityananda is not foolish. If you think, oh, Gaura they will let me off, don't worry, I can do some offenses. No, they will come in heavy. But it says they do not see, if means unknown offenses or unintentional offenses. We all commit offenses. They do not see that. They forgive us very easily. But if you commit actual offenses, knowingly, which is an offense against the holy name, then you will get punished. They're not silly. Lord Nityananda is very powerful. There's a very nice pastime in the Chaitanya Mangala. Who wrote the Chaitanya Mangala? Lochan Das Thakur. Yeah. What are the three most important books about Lord Chaitanya, the biographies? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavat, and Chaitanya Mangala. Right? Who wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Where did he write it? On the bank of Radhakund. Yeah, very good. You can go to the place where he actually wrote Chaitanya. Whenever we go there, we pray. Krishna's Kaviraj, please reveal what's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in my heart. Please let me understand these things. And then Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's interesting, when Prabhupada was contemplating translating one of the biographies of Lord Chaitanya, he hadn't decided between Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He hadn't decided which one. So he was sitting there with Achyutananda Maharaj at the time and Bhavananda Maharaj at the time. And he said, Achyutananda, which book should I translate? Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavat? And Achyutananda Maharaj said, Prabhupada, Chaitanya Bhagavat. And then he said, Bhavananda Maharaj said, what should I translate? And Bhavananda Maharaj didn't even know the difference between the two of them. He never read either of them. He didn't even know. He said, but he thought he'd be different too. So he said, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, okay, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So then that's why he translated Chaitanya. But actually Prabhupada wanted all these things translated. Prabhupada would have liked to have translated all of them. So Chaitanya Mangala gives a very wonderful pastime. Narad Muni comes down to earth. And when he comes to earth, he sees that it is Kali Yuga. And then he thinks, what will we do? for everyone. Kali Yuga has begun. Kali Yuga is Kale Dosha Nite Rajan. 12th canto of the Bhagavatam says it is an ocean of faults. There's so many problems in Kali Yuga. You can't even get toilet paper anymore. Right? There's so many problems in Kali Yuga. Right? So in Kali Yuga, Narad Muni was thinking, how do we deliver the conditioned souls? So then he went into meditation. And while he was meditating, Lord Jagannath appeared to him and said, come here to Jagannath Puri. So then he came to Jagannath Puri. And then when he saw Lord Jagannath said, I want you to go to Goloka Vrindavan and you will see my form who appears in Kali Yuga. So then he began to travel on his Veena. He plays his Veena, he chants, and he travels. Narad Muni is the transcendental spaceman. So he went up to, and he stopped in at Vaikuntha. And when he got to Vaikuntha, he saw Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan said, I told you to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Why did you stop here? And he said, well, I was going past, so I thought I would offer my obeisance. Go, Goloka. So he goes to Goloka. And when he enters Goloka Vrindavan, he sees Krishna sitting on a throne. And Krishna is golden color in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And on one side, there are many gopis, Shrimati Radharani and all of her assistants. On the other side is Queen Rukmini and all of the queens. And they're doing a Maha Abhishek of Gauranga. And Gauranga is there and they're passing water pots and Radharani and Rukmini are bathing him. And he's sitting there and being bathed and enjoying the Abhishek, Maha Abhishek, all of his devotees. And then he stops. And Lord Chaitanya said, very soon we will go down to the material world. And he said, all of you will come with me. And he said, most of you will come with me, but a few of you will go before me. And some of you will also come after me. And we will go there and we will spread the Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. And then it actually says in Chaitanya Mangala, he turned to one devotee. He looked at one devotee. Right? It's not written who it was. But he said, this devotee, he will come later than all of us. He will come at the end. And when he comes, everyone will try to leave India. They will go across the oceans to flee the sacred land of Bharatvash. And they will try to forget Krishna. And that devotee, he will cross the oceans and with the axe of the Harinam Sankirtan, he will go and he will cut their material desires and he will give them Krishna Prema. Right? And he said that devotee is my Senapati Bhakta, means my commander-in-chief. We don't know which associate it was, but we know who it was, who came. Prabhupada was predicted in Chaitanya Mangala 500 years ago. This is written. The Senapati Bhakta will come. Right? And when he comes, then he will distribute prema to everyone. We have to understand what is the goal of this Hare Krishna movement. Right? It is prema. Prema Pumata Mahan, Mahaprabhu himself says. Right? The goal is to develop love for Krishna. And if you want to develop love for Krishna, first you have to approach Advaita Acharya. You have to approach Advaita Acharya and you pray to Advaita Acharya, please give me your mercy. And Advaita says, my birthday is today, but in 1 week it'll be the birthday of Nityananda Prabhu. You go to him and pray to him. So then you go to Lord Nityananda and you pray to him on Nityananda Trayadashi. And you say, Nityananda Prabhu, please give me Krishna Prema. And he said, I will give it to you, but you have to wait 1 month for the next Purnima. Right? And then that day is here today. This is our opportunity today to get Krishna Prema. Today is easy to get Krishna Prema, love for Krishna. If you chant and dance in ecstasy before the deity of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada says you can develop love of Godhead. But who of us were doing that today? Who of us were giving our hearts completely 100% to Lord Chaitanya in the kirtan? So maybe we missed our chance, but we're lucky because there's more kirtan coming today. Or, if you're very ecstatic, you can stay here in front of the deities all day and just chant in ecstasy, like a madman, dance and chant. It is possible. Because today you can get love of Godhead, more than any other day of the year. Now it says here that how does Lord Chaitanya attract everyone in Kali Yuga? It says in this verse, by his beauty. So what does that mean? Right? It means his beauty. How does someone become beautiful? Right? It's not external, actually. Because sometimes you see someone who's very beautiful woman, or a very handsome man. Sometimes you see them. Like I was traveling last week, and this one man sat next to me, and he was so attractive. I was a little stunned when I saw him. And I thought, this person is beautiful. It says Krishna is so beautiful in his original form. Krishna is so beautiful, even men feel lusty desires. That's how beautiful Krishna is. Even men are attracted and think, who is this person? So this person sat next to me, he seemed very attractive physically. And I thought, oh, he's very attractive, must be a very auspicious person. And then we were traveling, and the whole time he's traveling, he's on his phone playing, I don't know what they call the games, but you know, those silly games people play on the phones. Yeah, where like, you know, bubbles go around and stuff like that. And then I thought, there's not much going on in there. Well, they kind of like candy pop or something, or I don't know what it's called, but so physically, you can be physically attractive, but it's what's going on the inside that makes you attractive. Because I lost attraction to the person. No, because I did, because I thought, but then I thought, no, there's not much going on in there. Externally something, but internally not much. Same, if a woman is very beautiful, and you see that beautiful woman, but then she speaks unpleasantly, you think, oh, who is this person? He's not very nice. Her heart is not good. Right? Very beautiful on the outside. If someone is beautiful on the outside and the inside, right, that is actual beauty. That is complete beauty. So Srimati Radharani, Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're like this. So actually it says in these purports, how does Lord Chaitanya attract everyone in the age of Kali? It's very interesting. It says he embraces everyone. Very interesting. It actually says this in the commentary. He embraces. That's how he attracts everyone. Because when someone embraces you, you feel, your heart explodes. You feel so nurtured, you feel so cared for, so loved. Right? So when Lord Chaitanya, he embraces everyone. That's his mood. Like a madman, he goes on the street, here, come here, embraces you, have love of Godhead. Chant the holy name, everybody. Chant Hare Krishna. That's Lord Chaitanya's mood. Right? And how do we, as it says here, as the Anga, Astra, as the weapon, how do the associates, how do they spread Krishna consciousness? By taking the Lord's mood. Being so affectionate to everyone that we meet. You sometimes see videos on Facebook or YouTube or something of Indradumna Swami doing their kirtans around the world, out there in the Polish world, and they grab everyone and they embrace them. Come into the kirtan. I saw Indradumna Swami one time in New Govardhan about 25 years ago. We're having big kirtan. It was on Nrsingadeva's appearance, I think. And there was a bikie there. You know bikie? Bikie's like a dacoit guy, kind of like, big bikie guy. He was in the temple in New Govardhan. So he came in, must have been, somehow he came there and he's there. And he was standing on the edge kind of looking at everyone. Everyone was kind of like looking, who's that guy in the back? It's like Jagai or Madai. Kind of like, big guy, come in and is like this. So Indradumna Swami sees him and he goes like this, and all the devotees moved. And he just went to him and grabbed his hands and slowly pulled him in. And then he started dancing with him. And the man was at the front and he's like, at first he's like, what's going on? Right? But then he started dancing. And then you can see everything just lifted and he was dancing in ecstasy with Maharaj. And then Maharaj go over him and he went to the back again. Then Maharaj went, right? Embraced him with ecstasy. That's how you bring people to the Hare Krishna movement, right? By love and affection. Prabhupada actually said in the late 60s, he said, ISKCON goes on by love and trust. Right? If you read Prabhupada's letters, if you read the letter book, if you go back to the late 60s, all the early letters, Prabhupada says this dozens of times, at least a dozen times, if not more. Prabhupada said, ISKCON will go on by love and trust, again and again. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. So today, embrace as many people as you can. Embrace the devotees, embrace the non-devotees, bring everyone to Krishna, spread the holy name, chant the holy name, Kirtanyaha Sada Hari, non-stop. Today is only for one thing, chanting. No matter what other service you're doing, keep chanting. If you're on in the office on your computer, just in the middle of while you're typing, you say, Hare Krishna! Everybody in the office, you chant, Hare Krishna! I knew one devotee. He used to work in Melbourne. He was in an office. And in the morning, he used to always wear tilak to work. He wears suit, but tilak. And he trained everyone in the office. In the morning, everyone says, good morning, hello, like that. He would not respond unless they said, Hari Bol. Right? So everyone in the office, when they see him in the morning, they say, Hari Bol. He'd say, Hari Bol. Right? Because if they didn't chant, he wouldn't say anything. So he got the whole office chanting, everyone, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Every morning, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. This is the mood of the devotees. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Gopani Mahamahotsava ki, Srila Prabhupada Sinapati Bhakta ki. Any questions or comments?
In Treta Yuga, Rama appeared, and in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna appeared, and in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Who appeared in Satya Yuga?
In Satya Yuga, if you read in this section, this chapter, it describes in Satya Yuga there is white incarnation. Shukla means white. So if you read, he has many different names. And Treta Yuga, there's many different names. The Yuga avatar, like that. And then Lord Ramachandra is not the Yuga avatar. He is a Leela avatar. He's a different type of avatar, but he comes in Treta Yuga also. And then Krishna comes in Dwapara Yuga, in the blackish form. Like that. So if you read in this chapter, it will tell you all about the different incarnations, the different Yuga avatars. So, any other question? Comment? Yep.
Why did the Lord appear in Satya Yuga?
Why did he appear in Satya Yuga?
Like in Kali Yuga, he came to uplift the fallen souls.
Yeah, same. The Yuga avatar teaches the Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma means the way to approach Krishna in that particular age. So in Satya Yuga, everyone meditates. So there's an incarnation that comes and he teaches everyone meditation. Right? And then in Treta Yuga, it is sacrifice. So there's an incarnation called Jagya. He has different names. He comes, he teaches Jagyas. And then in Dwapara Yuga, it is deity worship. So then everyone worships the form. So there's an incarnation who comes to teach. And in Kali Yuga, we have the Nam Sankirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach that. And that's all.
How is it that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted the holy name to be spread in every town and village? But now many people I meet walks on the street and they don't even know what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So what's the question?
Why is it like that? Like Mahaprabhu wanted to spread all over the world. We don't see so many people knowing what.
Prabhupada said, if you read in Servant of the Servant, there's one book that Tamal Krishna Maharaj wrote. Right? If you read in Servant of the Servant, Prabhupada said to Tamal Krishna Maharaj in a letter, he said, if we all completely surrendered to Prabhupada, all of us, surrendered completely, if we all became like Prabhupada, that level of surrender, Prabhupada said we could take over the USA in 18 days. So if the question is, why is it not spreading enough? It's because we're not surrendering enough. That's the principle. If we surrender more, it will spread. But that being said, it is spreading like crazy at the moment. Krishna consciousness is spreading like crazy, more than what many of us understand at the moment. There's a lot of Krishna consciousness spreading around the world. So just if we keep preaching, all of us together, then we'll see the effect happening more and more. Especially now, like the world is crashing before our eyes. It's actually crashing. There's about to be a global financial crash. It's on its way. It's beginning to happen, whether it's caused by the coronavirus or whatever it's caused by, but it's beginning to happen. So people will become more and more desperate. There'll be more problems, and people will take to Krishna consciousness more and more. So this is the best time to preach, to spread Krishna consciousness. So just keep working hard. Yeah.
We quoted that last Deva Kathanchi, that by hearing Bhagavatam one develops taste and we fall asleep or whatever. So can one have food
It's easier when the speaker is someone that you like hearing from. Like, you know, I have my personal favorites, you have your personal favorites, everyone has their favorite Bhagavatam speakers. And it's much easier to listen when they're speaking. But we have to train our mind that whoever is speaking, then we still listen with rapt attention, Prabhupada said. So you still have to train your mind. You know, I've never gone to a class, ever, I've never gone to a Bhagavatam class where I didn't get at least one thing from the class. But you have to listen. It's hard to get something out of the class if you're asleep. I've noticed that. It's hard. So don't sleep. If you're going to come to class, don't sleep. Like that. And you'll get at least one thing. So, any other question?
Yeah.
First, go.
Okay, you were mentioning how Prabhupada, I suppose the fact that ISKCON will continue based on love and trust.
Yeah.
But sometimes devotees might experience that in association with devotees, it doesn't always feel like it's relationships of love and trust.
Mm.
So how do we see that? Like, if people come, they don't necessarily have pleasant experiences when they come
Yeah.
into the association with devotees, so
Yeah.
they end up leaving
Yeah.
sour or things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Prabhupada said, there's a letter where he says that if someone leaves, because sometimes people do leave, Prabhupada said it's 50% our fault and 50% their fault. Nothing can make you leave. Right, there's no test, or, you know, we've all gone through our tests in ISKCON as well, but nothing can make you leave. That's a choice you make. But, okay, 50% still lies with the other side, the devotees, so we have to learn to treat devotees better. So at least you, because the only person you can control in your life is yourself, you be, like one friend of mine, Adi Purush Prabhu, when he gives class, he says, you have to take vitamins every day. Right? He said, especially B1. Right? You have to, the devotees always say, oh, you know, someone's, you know, they're leaving and it's because, no, you be one. You be one. You be the one who stops them from leaving. You know, you go and give him the vitamins out. Hey. And usually all you got to do is just go and give someone a hug. Quite serious. I'm being serious. It's interesting. Tamal Krishna Maharaj, the last time he came to Australia, 2001, on his last trip just before he left the world, it was interesting because we hadn't seen him for 2.5 years because he had cancer and he hadn't come. So he came, he arrived in New Govardhan, he flew in, we all met him, we did Guru Puja, and I was actually doing the arti, I was doing the, and then in the middle, you know, you're meditating in your guru, and I hadn't seen him for 2 years, and like that, and he saw one of his godbrothers at the door, and he said, hey, come like this. And he came and sat next to him while I was doing the arti. So I'm trying to like concentrate on my guru, like all, you know, formal and everything. My guru's just sitting there, you know, holding the hand of his godbrother. They're just talking, they're just laughing and joking. You know, it's like the Cowherd Boys, you know, just, and I'm trying to like do this whole serious, like Lord Brahma kind of, you know, like thing. So then at the end, you know, when we finished the guru prayer and we all sat down, it's interesting, the first thing he said, what ISKCON needs is more hand-holding. Interesting. He could have said anything. You know, it was like all his realizations after having his cancer and going through all his difficulties. We hadn't seen him for a long time. And, you know, our guru comes, we're expecting him to say, you know, speak about Radharani and Krishna and like the, you know, the intimate relation, like all the, you know, esoteric stuff. No, first thing he said, ISKCON needs more hand-holding. He's saying that while he's holding the hand of one of his godbrothers in the middle of his guru prayer without any formality. You know, he wasn't sitting there like a guru. He was just sitting there laughing and joking. You know, I'm doing like this whole arty thing and, you know, trying to put flowers on his feet and he's just like, you know, joking. It's like, So, you know, if you know someone's going to leave or someone's struggling, go and give them a hug and hold their hand and say, can I do anything for you? And what will they do? They'll probably stay because at least they've got one friend. Everyone else in ISKCON could be bad, but at least one person is good. So we should make them feel like that, right? And then they'll say, oh, actually, most of the guys are all right. And he said, come and let's all go and do kirtan together. Like before we're all doing kirtan together. Was anyone thinking bad things? You know, we don't think, oh, this person, that. No, we just all think, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. The problem is we're not doing enough kirtan. That's another problem. You do more kirtan? You know, you're doing kirtan, do you have problems? You know, while you're chanting, you don't like think, oh, you know, my bank account, all these things. You don't, you know, just absorb yourself in the holy name. And Prabhupada actually said, if we chant in the morning and the evening together, he said all the problems will disappear. Like that, so. Okay.
They say Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Ram Bhagavan appeared in Treta Yuga, then Krishna appeared in Dwapar Yuga. That is the explanation they give why they chant, say first Rama and then
Yeah.
Krishna.
So why do we do it the other way around?
I'm not asking, I'm very convinced that Krishna comes first, but they give that explanation. So
Yeah, in the Vedas it is written Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Like, it's written like that. Now, the smarter brahmanas, the people who are too much attached to rules and oh no, it is not in the Vedas, you cannot do it. Just like the other day, these Vaishnavas came to our farm. They were from they weren't in ISKCON, they were from another like mutt. And they came and they're very strict, like, like Vedic Brahmanas, just like everything. And they came and we have a dog called Bronte. And they freaked out. They freaked out because they said if she comes up and sniffs. And then they said, don't come near us. And then they said, if she touches us, then we have to go and take bath. They actually said that, right? So we say, hey, Bronte, come on, go away, because he's making them feel uncomfortable. And we said, come on, go away, right? So people get so caught up in the rules and the regulations. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did, he took the Vedic mantra and then he broke it in half. And then he put it the other way, joined it back together, and he said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Because in the Vedas it says, unless you are a Brahmana, you're not allowed to chant the mantra. Don't chant the mantra. And Lord Chaitanya said, no, everyone, hey, you chant, come here. Start chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then when he went through the forest, he said to the tiger, hey, chant. Right? And then the tiger started, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. It says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the tiger and the deer had their arms around each other. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And it said they were kissing each other. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, chant. And then all the devotees traveled from Mayapur. They walked for 1 month to see Lord Chaitanya in Puri. And the whole time they came, there was one dog. He was with them the whole time. And every day they would feed the dog. He joined, the whole time he walked for 1 month with them. And then the last couple of days he disappeared. And devotees got upset because they became attached to the dog. Oh, where is Dog Prabhu, Bronte? Or Everyone got upset, right? So then when they got to Puri, they walked in, the dog was sitting there, Lord Chaitanya was there, Lord Chaitanya was eating coconut, and then he's throwing his remnants to, hey, like that. And then when the dog caught the coconut in the mouth, we go, right? And then Lord Chaitanya said, hey, Krishna, bowl, right? And the dog started saying, Krishna, 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 like that. And then it said a couple of days later, the dog had gone, and everyone knew the dog went back to Goloka. So that's why Lord Chaitanya broke the mantra. Okay, anyone can have it. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki? Sriman Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki? Gopani Maha Mahotsava ki? Taking Melbourne back to Godhead ki? Go Premanande.